the problem that comes when we outsource love. When we outsource love, when you think about some IT industries, that they outsource work to and call centers that outsource work to people who may be in other countries. And what that means is when you outsource work, you become dependent upon a different region or dependent upon different people than the people that are originally staffed for that job. So what happens is over time, that knowledge, that appreciation can gotta get pushed in another direction. But say if something happens to the place that you've outsourced, that there is a physical weather event, something that happens that wipes that out. You are now dependent upon someone in another region, and you're outsourcing that work. Well, God said that many of us, the root cause, not just the relationship, the root cause of the issues that we see in our life is because we have outsourced our love, meaning that we have a lack of self-love, self-appreciation, self-value. And so often when we think about relationships, we think that's the only place that we can see a lack of self-love come about. But you can see a lack of self-love come about when you have a lack of boundaries, that you're always reaching outward. God said to me that a person that does not have self-value and self-love, and this is not a judgment because we all can increase in this area. We all can increase in this area. So listen, just take it for what it is. God says that when a person does not have self-love, self-appreciation, enough self-value, they are always focused outward. They are always focused outward. So what does that lead to? Sometimes it can lead to envy. Sometimes it can lead to jealousy. Sometimes it can lead to putting more stock into other people's lives. Sometimes we overreach into things that belong to other people, lessons for other people to learn, because we don't have the self-value to focus on the things of ourselves, right? Self-love, lack of self-love and self-appreciation means that we can focus more on the outward. Our outward woman, our outward man, our outward vehicles, our outward house, our outward land, than focusing on our internal landscape. Our internal landscape. If you can type internal landscape in the chat right now, please do that. And so that is what God is downloading in me and showing me, because when the Spirit first spoke this to me, I had to challenge it a little bit because I didn't really have the clarity and the understanding. I said, God, we've got intentions around putting better food in our bodies. We've got intentions around being more financially whole. We've got intentions around better relationships. And God said, none of those things will come to pass unless the self-love is there. Like, we'll start it a little bit, right? That's kind of what happens with resolutions at the beginning of the year. We start them a little bit, but if you don't have enough self-love or self-appreciation, that you will not continue that thing, because you've got to believe, number one, it's not about grit and grind, but it's about I am deserving of a healthy vessel. I am deserving to put foods in my mouth that agrees well with my body. I'm deserving of financial wholeness and wellness. I'm deserving of good health. I'm deserving of a healthy relationship. I am deserving. And so when you find yourself deserving, when you find yourself loving who you are, the uniqueness that you are, that is unfolding at this moment in history, you will turn and focus in on yourself. And sometimes what everybody else has going on becomes what God's called indistinct chatter. And so y'all can tell I'm really freeforming this morning. Indistinct chatter. I remember when I was watching the episode of Insecure, the series Insecure, whenever they would walk into a restaurant and you would just kind of hear chatter in the restaurant, but you wouldn't really know what they were saying. In a new scene,